Why is it so important to keep your PIN in secret? Don't listen to anybody's advices. Now I'm going to tell you 10 ways of stealing PIN. Your card didn't get inside the ATM because enter your PIN and nothing happens. Hello my friends, my name is Sergey Pavlovich and this is my channel Mother Russia. I invite professionals for interviews, but today I'm alone and I want to speak about what I know well. Today I'd like to talk about banking cards and if it's possible to steal PIN codes. Let's call to Tinkoff Bank. Tinkoff Bank welcomes you. I would like to make a card. I'm interested in its security. Is it possible to steal money from it? Steal its PIN? As for a PIN code, nowadays swindlers invent many ways to get pins. For instance, they use skimming. Now let's make a call to Alpha Bank. Hello, this is Alpha Bank. Hello, my name is Julie. How can I help you, Mr. Pavlovich? Hello, I have a question regarding the card security. Can someone steal my PIN? Yes, in case if you tell it to third parties or if ATMs will be equipped by skimming devices. And let's talk to Sberbank. Hello, Sergey. This is Sberbank. Is it possible to steal my PIN code? We don't have such information. It depends on where you keep it. Your PIN code is in one copy only, in your PIN envelope. Just don't share information about your card with other people. Okay, thank you. Why is it so important to keep your PIN in secret? Because transactions with using PIN almost cannot be disputed. So most banks' position is that if a client fucked up his PIN and his money was stolen, most likely he is guilty and he won't get his money back. I'm going to tell you 10 ways of stealing PIN and money from your card. Number 1. The most stupid but still actual one. If you write your PIN on your card. Look, you have many cards, and I understand it's hard to remember all PINs. What do? You take a pen or other sharp thing, and you write or scratch PIN on your card. In this case, if you lose your wallet or it's stolen, the criminal will get not only your card, but also a PIN code. And your money would be easily withdrawn from an ATM. It's good that now banks allow clients to choose own PIN. So you may set up one PIN for all your cards to remember it easily. Record your PINs in your phone or on PC, but if you write it on your card, add 1 to every number at least. So if you lose your card, the numbers won't help criminals. Number 2. Trapping. Trapping means catching in a trap. So how the method looks like? You come to the ATM, insert the card in it, enter your PIN and nothing happens. Why? Something caught your card in the card acceptance slot. So it didn't get inside the cash machine. So you cannot withdraw it because it's not inside. And in general, you're confused and don't know what to do. Your card didn't get inside the ATM because a criminal set up a trap made from a thin photographic film or stuff like that. So the photo film is folded, inserted inside the card acceptance slot, and it catches your card. You don't know what to do, your card is stuck. Then a criminal comes to you and asks what happened. You tell them that your card is stuck inside. You're confused. He says he had such problem. Just enter your PIN one more time. Okay, you enter it, but nothing happens again. In frustration, you go to your bank to brawl. Now the criminal takes out his trap with your card from the ATM and withdraws all money because he just spied upon your PIN. How to avoid this problem? First, don't listen to anybody's advices. Then, while entering your PIN, cover the numpad with your hand. Third, if something happens to your card, it's stuck inside the cash machine, solve all problems near it. Call your emitter bank. It's a good idea to record its phone number written on your bank card. Or call to the ATM's bank. Phone numbers are always written on it. Trapping is not so popular nowadays, but it's useful to be aware of it. However, even this doesn't help you if you deal with skimming. Method number 3. Skimming. Skim means to take away. A skimmer is a device that is designed as a part of an ATM. Basically, it's a fake cover that's installed on a card acceptance slot. So when you insert your card to the ATM, it goes through the skimmer that takes the dump of your card. All information recorded on the magnet stripe of a card. And it's enough to falsify your banking card. So your card goes through a skimmer and gets inside the cash machine. Now you can operate, withdraw money, check your balance, take back your card and go away. But the criminals now have the dumps of your card. There are simple skimmers that record dumps on flash memory, and more advanced ones with a GSM module that send dumps instantly via SMS or even email to a criminal. You may ask, how do they steal pins if a skimmer steals only number of the card? But I would say that stealing of a pin is another kind of art. First, they may use hidden video cameras that may be fixed on the ATM or near it, on some mailboxes or stuff like that. Second, they use fake keyboards. Those fake keyboards look like real ones. They are installed over ATM's native keyboard. Most likely you won't detect a fake keyboard over a native one, but it records every single entered PIN. So if we face skimming, our card isn't protected, and the only way to avoid it, to examine carefully the card acceptance slot for fake covers, and also look attentively at the keyboard of the ATM. The fake one may stick out a bit, but in general it's really hard to notice. To avoid problems with skimming, I would advise you to use ATMs inside big shops and banks, because there it's more difficult for criminals to set up their devices quietly. Do not install skimmers in mornings because passers-by are more attentive in this part of the day. Do not pick an ATM that is passed by more than 250 clients daily. Avoid towns with population less than 15,000. The locals will know their ATM well and would detect your skimmer easily. Here is a part of a skimmer instruction from one of Carda's websites. A skimmer cost starts from $8,000. It's quite an expensive device, so normally they are purchased not by single criminals, but whole criminal gangs that have enough money for further crimes. Way number 4. Shimmer. Maybe you thought skimming is the worst luck. If you didn't notice it on ATM, you can say goodbye to your banking card and money on it. However, skimmers are not the worst you can face with, and all precautions I've mentioned earlier won't help you if you deal with shimming. Shim is basically the same as skimming. This is a thin, flexible plate, thinner than a human hair, that is fixed on a banking card. Using it, the plate is inserted inside a cash machine and it's set on a card reading chips. So if you have a few chances to notice a skimmer on the ATM, then you'll never notice the shimmer inserted inside the card's acceptance slot. I would say it's a genius device. Its thickness is no more than 0.1 millimeter, thinner than a human hair. The theft of pins is done on same principle as with skimming, hidden cameras near the ATM or fake keyboards. Shimming is not so popular due to complexity of shimmer's construction, and such devices aren't sold for general public. Scheme number 5. Fake POS-terminals and even ATMs. First crimes using this method were described in USA in 1988. The criminals constructed a vending machine, like the ones that sell Coke, Snickers or chips. That machine accepted any card with a pin and sold cigarettes. So you come to the machine, insert the card, enter PIN, buy a pack of cigarettes, you're happy. What happens next? The details of your card are copied by the criminals, they make a duplicate, and they withdraw all money from an ATM. There are also fake cash machines. They are huge and expensive, so the method is not so popular. Nevertheless, I mentioned that it's better to use ATMs inside banks or supermarkets, because you'll never place a fake ATM there. The most popular fake device is a POS terminal. For instance, you're having a dinner in a restaurant, you want to cover the bill, the waiter brings a terminal, you try to pay with your card, but the transaction doesn't go through, and the reason is displayed on it. But in fact, you've just dealt with a fake POS terminal that just copied your card details and remembered your PIN. And the waiter may tell you that he'll bring another terminal, this is maybe out of work. How to protect yourselves? So, to avoid fake ATMs, I advised you to use them inside banks or supermarkets. But if we touch POS terminals, in fact, they are not fake, just reprogrammed to copy dumps from your magnet stripe and pins. So you'll never detect it's a fake one. The only way, don't pay with your banking card in shady places. And also in touristic countries, like in Turkey, Egypt, Ukraine, Thailand. So try not to use your card in these countries. Method number 6. I call it childish. To use it, you need skilled hands and superglue. You need to tape over keys Enter, Clear and Cancel on the ATM's keyboard. The victim comes to the ATM, inserts his card, enters the PIN, tries to press Enter, but the key is taped over. He cannot do it. He tries to withdraw the card, but the Cancel button is also taped over. What happens next? There is nothing to do, the client leaves in frustration to call the bank. You come to the ATM from your undercover and take all money using the keys on the screen, not on the keyboard. Somehow, many people forget that all keys are duplicated on a keyboard and on the screen. How to protect from it? To remember that if a keyboard refuses to work, you may complete a transaction using virtual keys on the screen. Way number 7. Test transactions. In the internet you can find a manual for almost any ATM, and many swindlers use them. To reprogram an ATM and make it work for you, you need to know a special code. namely the developer's password to every cash machine. But the problem is that sometimes, due to oversight of bank workers and programmers, the passwords are default, like they are written in manuals. And if a criminal found a manual to the cash machine, and the bank programmers hadn't changed the default password of the cash machine, the machine can be easily reprogrammed. For instance, to make it count $20 bills as $1. So one can withdraw $400 instead of 20 in next transaction. This method doesn't touch regular clients, more bank workers who install ATMs. Method 8. Hacking. Almost all ATMs work on Windows, so they can be infected by a special virus. Surely you need to open its cover, connect a laptop to it or better mini computer, and reprogram it by installing your spy program. Many hackers can do it. Then, using this program, you can copy all cards' data with pins that were inserted in the ATM, or reprogram the ATM to withdraw all money from it during next transaction. Of course, you may object that nowadays all cash machines are equipped by video cameras or alarm systems. But in fact, not every single ATM is equipped with it. And often the security systems happen to be switched off. Method 9. Hacking through internet. You paid using banking card in a retail network. Let's take in supermarkets. What happens next? Hackers break the POS-terminals of the trading network and steal the dumps of all cards that were accepted by the terminals. Good news is that such attacks can be performed only by super professional hackers. They spend several years to make one, and the majority of such hackers are now in prisons of the USA. Also, top-level hackers can attack processing center of a certain bank, and they get access to POS-terminals and, what's more important, to the bank's of whole network. They can steal cards dumps, as well as reprogram ATMs. In previous episodes, I talked to the advocate Mironov. Now he is protecting the group of professional hackers. They got an access to processing centers of certain Russian banks, like URL-SIB and others, and reprogrammed the ATMs. A drop, a figurehead, comes to an ATM, withdraws all money he has on his card, and the hackers cancel the transaction through the internet. So he got the money, but the bank cancels the transaction, and his balance remained the same. By this, they managed to steal more than $15 million. There are two methods left. After, I'll tell you about precautions if you don't want to lose money from your card. So, method 10. Phishing. All method mentioned above touched physical actions with ATMs. But 10th method is the easiest one, and it's used in the internet most often. Phishing means catching a fish. So you get an email from your bank or a big supermarket where you are used to buy goods, where you are invited to visit a website and enter your card number under any pretext. Card's number, its expiry date and the PIN. You follow the link thinking the email is really sent by your bank, and you go to a website that copies the website of your bank. You enter your card details that get to swindlers' hands. The assistant of Tinkoff Bank in the beginning of the episode told that you won't necessarily get an email. There may be a phone call from allegedly a manager of your bank, or there may be a robot's voice with a text stating that there was a suspicious transaction on money withdrawal. They may tell you a huge amount for you to start panicking, and to cancel the transaction, they need the card's number, its expiry date and PIN. There are many ways. They do hacker attacks. They may call and invite you to participate in a giveaway and enter your card number. They may record a robot's voice telling you that a sum is blocked on your card. Please send your PIN to unblock it. In any case, I advise you to call your bank. You can protect yourselves from phishing. First, you need to update antiviruses and browsers timely, because they track the base of phishing websites. So if you go to a phishing website, you may get a notification about it. Second, you must carefully check the web address you are going to from your email. You may think you are going to sberbank.ru, but phishers might use the domain sberbank2.ru. So if you are attentive enough, you may notice this is not an original Sberbank's page. Also, don't trust any calls and messages allegedly from banks, because your bank will never contact you asking to provide the details of your card or its PIN. As far as I know, phishing is very popular in the USA, where citizens are very law obedient. People there think if they get an email from their bank, they must respond it. However, anyone can face this trick. I got dozens of these inquiries. There is an exotic way to open an ATM, to crack it using a cutting torch. There was a dozen of such occasions in CIS countries. But this way hasn't become popular, because it's as complicated as bank robbery. Indeed, there are huge sums inside, sometimes more than $200,000. But the thieves should know that the safe box inside the ATM is equipped with a special protecting device with paint. So if you cut the ATM improperly, all banknotes will be painted, and you will have nothing to do with the money. On top, I'll tell you how your money can be stolen from your contactless card. As many of you may know, Visa and MasterCard have contactless cards that allow to make payments amounting up to $20 without entering PIN. MasterCard has PayPass cards, Visa call them PayWave. You may notice a sign of 4 curved lines radiating rightwards. Indeed, cards with contactless payments are very convenient, but they carry a risk. Having paid in a shop with such card, you can put it in your back pocket. A swindler standing near you noticed where you put it and comes to you with a mobile terminal. You might notice pizza couriers have such terminals. So the swindler puts his device several centimeters near your card and steals from your card up to $20. Imagine how much money can one steal for 1 hour standing in a big supermarket. Indeed, the method requests certain expenses. The swindler must register an enterprise to obtain a POS terminal. So to pay for its registration and then get the terminal as if he renders some services. It all takes $2,000–$4,000, however, it may be repaid for 1–2 days. So, to protect your card with contactless payment, Bank of Russia, for instance, recommends to wrap your cards in foil. As for me, let Bank of Russia wrap their cards in foil. There are better ways. This may be a wallet with a foil inside its cover. You don't necessarily need to make it with own hands. There are many such ones on sale. Or you may buy a stylish case for your cards that is protected from all sides. It may be metallic or plastic, but your contactless cards will be protected. In the description to the episode, I leave a link where I bought a nice and safe case for my cards. So save your time and choose one there. Now let's talk about precautions. When I was writing my book, by the way, you can buy it on Amazon or any other bookstore. It contains many other ways of money stealing from cards apart from mentioned above. If we see the number of carding and hacking forums today, there are more than 30, with more than 1.5 million registered users on them. Of course, some users have several accounts on each forum. But roughly, if we deduct duplicated or invalid accounts, I would say that in CIS, there are more than 300,000 willing to steal your money from banking card. So it's vital to take precautions. What are they? First, do not write your PIN on banking card. If you do, alter it somehow to mislead a criminal in case he has it in his hands. Second, examine carefully the ATM or POS terminal where you are gonna insert your card. Check them for fake acceptance slot or a fake keypad. Third, while entering PIN, cover the keypad with your second hand. Fourth, do not be fooled by fake emails and calls that are allegedly received from your bank or a supermarket. None of banks would ask your card details in an email or phone call. If you got a call from a bank assistant or a person who introduces so, do not tell him any details of your card, especially its PIN. Call to the bank and ask if they have an assistant with such a name. Fifth, having all issues with your cards, if it's stuck inside the cash machine or whatever, solve them right near the ATM. Call the customer support service of the bank owning the ATM or customer support of your bank, and you'd better have its phone number in your contacts. Sixth, while making payment with your card in a shop, restaurant, hotel, do not let it hide from your eyesight. A waiter may tell you that they have a terminal in another room and walk away with your card. This happens far more rarely today. Most places have portative POS terminals, however, problems may arise. So, if a shop assistant, a courier or a waiter wants to go somewhere with your card, just follow him. Otherwise, he may use a special portative device called card reader. Its size is twice less than a matchbox, but it can copy your dump, the information on the magnetic stripe. Seventh, having paid at cash desk, check the bill for unwanted sums. Sometimes cashiers, deliberately or by mistake, can post some additional charges. So take the check after any transaction and examine it right near the desk. Eighth, try not to use your card in high-risk countries. As I've said, Turkey, Egypt, Thailand and Ukraine is also in the list. This especially touches credit cards. In this case, you'll have debts with penalties. Ninth, Do not send the details of your card, I mean its number, expiry date, CVV code and PIN, unencrypted via emails or in messengers, through SMS to your relatives or friends. Do not make purchases in doubtful internet shops. Use only big stores with many reviews from exterior portals like I recommend and so on. Little shops can be created only for theft of your credit cards. They don't sell anything, so you won't get any goods from them. The best idea is to create a separate card for internet purchases, either real or virtual, and transfer there only that amount of money needed for your purchase. 11th. Turn on SMS notification about any transaction, and if your money is being stolen from your card, you'll notice it earlier. Block the card and reissue a new one. As far as I know, every second person doesn't use such notifications about any operation. Its cost is tiny, near $1 monthly, so it's better to turn it on. If you are making daily transactions on little sums, you'd better set a maximal amount. For instance, you spend $30 daily. Okay, set a daily limit of $30. If you need to make a bigger transaction, call your bank right near the ATM or cashier desk and increase the limit. Daily limit may seem inconvenient, but it will definitely save you money from thieves. And the last, a very important precaution while using banking cards. Forbid any transactions from countries other than yours. If you live, let's say, in Russia, allow to use the card in Russia only. And if you're going to spend vacations in, let's say, Spain, contact your bank to allow transactions in this country. So, if your card details are stolen in Russia, money will be withdrawn somewhere in Israel or USA. So again, forbid any transactions from countries other than yours. Finally, let's see a small movie of bad B-carder, Vladislav Horakhorin, who's been serving for 7 years in US prison, about Russian cyber criminals.